welcome to today's slow flow class. We're going to be working with all directions of the spine, opening up through the hips as well. And as we get to the end half of the class, we'll really be focusing on those yin postures. Starting in a comfortable seated position, if it's okay, beginning in kneeling here. On your next inhale, breathing in here for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. And continue this deep breathing, noticing how your body is feeling as you sit here. We're going to spend a little bit more time here, so I invite you to just use this space to really check in with yourself today. Notice what you need, maybe setting an intention for your practice. As you're ready, bringing some gentle movement into the body, bringing the right ear down towards the right shoulder, and making slow half circles here, drawing chin towards the chest, left ear over to the left shoulder, maybe going all the way around if that feels okay, or staying in the front part of your body, making those half circles with the neck. As you're ready, bringing head and neck back to center, stacking over the body, and then fingertips to the shoulders. As you exhale, rounding the back, bringing elbows together from the chest, and as you inhale, drawing those shoulder blades back together, arms opening. Exhale together, rounding, scooping the belly. Inhale, opening through the front body, squeezing those shoulders together. Alternating with the breath here. I know that there's always the option to speed this movement up, going at a rapid or a quick pace, doing those quick breaths, or staying here with me, moving slowly through the motions, opening up through the body. As you're ready, coming back to center, stacking the spine once again, palms face down on the legs, just checking in. Notice how the body's feeling with this little warm up through the spine. And then exhale, twisting over to your right. exploring another direction the spine can move. Inhaling back through center as you exhale, twisting over to the opposite side, looking past that shoulder behind you. With each inhale, opening that belly. And as you exhale, drawing the belly button towards the spine, maybe twisting a little bit deeper. And inhale, moving back through center. And then walking the hands forward, tucking all the toes under here. Bringing the hips back to the heels and then rounding through the back. If you'd like, moving the hands forward, completely resting that head and neck down. Notice maybe there's a little bit of tension in the back of that neck as you do that. Breathing in space through the back body. As you're ready, begin to walk the hands back in. Coming into a toe stand here, maybe making sure all 10 toes are tucked under. If this is too intense for the next few breaths, you can come back to the previous pose before we move on. Coming into a moving camel pose. So as you're ready, bringing that right hand towards the right heel or the low back. And then inhaling the opposite arm up as you lift the hips, pressing them forward and up, chest lifted. And then rotating, bringing that left hand down towards the low back or the heel as you circle that right arm up. Alternating here, making big circles with those arms, opening up in through the shoulders. Alternating here, back and forth. And then maybe playing around with circling the arms the opposite way that you were circling them to get them around. As you're ready, bringing both hands down into a camel. If this is too much right now, keeping hands on the low back or making your way into a child's pose. Breathing into that front body, maybe resting the head and neck back, opening up the throat. Your next few breaths here, releasing those hands, making your way into a closed leg child's pose if you're not already there. Forehead to the mat, arms by your sides, palms face up. Breathing into that back body, finding stillness here, letting everything reset. As you're here, if you'd like, maybe rocking that head gently side to side, massaging the forehead, releasing any tension through the face. Spending a few more full breaths here. As you're ready, making your way back up, stacking the spine, bringing those fingertips back to the shoulders, and then creating almost like a dishwasher motion or a washing machine motion with the spine. So inhaling as you twist to one side, exhale as you twist to the opposite side. You can do this movement fast or slow, totally up to you. Engaging the core. Inhale to one side, exhale to the opposite. Elbows in line with shoulders, we're at shoulder height here. Twisting through the midsection. Just a few more moments here, rinsing everything out. Keep going, using the breath. And then coming back to center, finding stillness, hands face down on the lap. Checking in, notice how you're feeling after that. Settling the breath. As you're ready, you're going to walk the hands forward, coming into all fours. And you can either do traditional cat-cows here, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Or you can experiment with what we're about to do. So if you're going to experiment, slightly tucking the tailbone, then tucking the rest of the spine, chin to the chest. Holding it here. On an exhale, begin to draw the hips back over the heels, hovering here. Continue rounding through the spine. And then this is the part where we can begin to experiment if you want, tenting those fingertips, and then almost as if you're bouncing back and forth, heels and hips come together, and then the fingers touch the mat as you come forward. Continue bouncing. If this causes any tension or pressure in the knees that's uncomfortable, doing those traditional cat-cows. Continue rounding the spine here, bouncing back and forth, and then planting the palms, tucking the toes as you're ready, pressing back into our first downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling the feet out here. On an exhale, taking a big step forward with that right leg, foot in between the hands, dropping the back knee down, untucking the toes, and then heel toe the right foot over to the side of your mat, toes slightly pointed out. So coming into a lizard pose here, either staying here, if you'd like, maybe bringing right hand to the inside of the leg, opening up that hip and the sole of the foot. Maybe coming down to the forearms, or coming down to the forearms and opening up that leg with the hand, honoring wherever your body's at today. On your next few breaths, slowly making your way back up. And then heel toe that foot all the way over to the left side of your mat, coming into a pigeon pose. If this is too much for the knee, coming onto your back and coming into a figure four position. Make your way into a spot that feels good for you to hold pigeon, softening the jaw, focusing on breathing into the space that's holding tension. If you'd like, adding a twist here. So slightly coming up and then threading that left arm underneath you, opening up the shoulder. Right hand to the mat to open the chest to the side. Maybe wrapping that right arm around to the back or all the way to the hip crease. Resting the head on the mat. And your next inhale, slowly making your way out of pigeon pose. Coming back to all fours. And then moving in whatever way feels good for you, whether that's tapping out the feet, maybe swaying the hips side to side. As you're ready, we're going to come back into that tapping back and forth. So tucking the tailbone, rounding through the rest of the spine, chin to the chest, tenting those fingers as you bring the hips over the heels, hovering here. Core and belly button drawing to the spine the entire time as you begin to bounce back and forth. Or imagine floating up, engaging the leg muscles, pressing through the tops of the feet as you do this motion. One more time here. And then planting those hands, making your way into downward facing dog. On an exhale, stepping that left foot through between the hands, dropping the back knee down, untucking the toes, and then heel toe that left foot all the way over to the left side of the mat, planting those palms. Coming into lizard pose, knowing that each side of the body is a little bit different, so honoring whatever you need to here in terms of depth. Finding your space, maybe taking that twist as you open the hip. Focusing on the breath. As you're ready, once again, making your way out of lizard pose. And then take your time to come into pigeon. Heel toe that foot all the way over to the right side of the mat. Once again, if there's any pain in the knee, coming back onto your backs in that figure 4 position. And take your time to settle, unclenching the jaw. Imagine breathing into any spaces of tension. If you like, taking that twist once again, coming up to that left hand, sliding the right arm through, palm face up, planting the left hand to rotate the chest open, maybe leaving the hand there for support, or bringing it all the way around to the low back, maybe even reaching towards the left foot. On an inhale, begin to make your way out of whatever form of pigeon pose you're in. And carefully coming into a seated position, bringing those feet forward, bending the knees, hands behind you, fingers pointing forwards. And then just windshield wiping the legs side to side, massaging out the hips. As you're ready, coming to face lengthways on your mat, opening up the legs wide. And then bending right knee in here, sole the foot to the inside of the left leg. Reaching down that left leg. Maybe bringing opposite arm over. It's really warm here, so all my muscles were nice and open. If you're not reaching that foot, that's totally fine. Just feeling the stretch through the side of the body. On your next inhale, sweeping that top arm all the way up, reaching back. And then circling that opposite arm around as you lift the hips up, pointing the opposite foot. And coming back here as you exhale, twisting back to that leg. Reaching to the outside of the leg or the foot, opposite arm behind you. Once again, breathing into that side body. This time, chest is closed down towards that leg. And as you inhale, coming back up, once again, lifting the hips up, reaching back. And releasing. Carefully bending that knee, extending the opposite leg out. Settling here. And then reaching back down towards that leg that's extended, maybe opposite arm reaching up and over. Continue rotating that chest up and open. On your next inhale, leading with that top arm, bringing it behind you. Once again, lifting the hips up, reaching back. And as you exhale, twisting towards that extended leg, this time closing chest towards the leg, forehead towards the knee. Breathing into the side and the back body. On your next inhale, once again, sweeping that arm behind you, lifting the opposite arm overhead as you lift the hips up and off the mat. And releasing back down, extending both legs out to either side of the mat. Flexing the feet, toes facing up to the ceiling. Begin to hinge forward from the hips, toes still facing up. And then finding your spot here to settle in. Maybe resting forehead on crossed arms, or reaching to either leg or toes. On your next inhale, begin to make your way out of this pose. Bringing hands behind the knees, carefully bringing those legs back together. Knees bend as you slowly make your way onto your back. Extending the legs out long, arms by your sides. And as you exhale, drawing right knee in towards that right shoulder. Breathing here. Taking any movement that you need to. So if you'd like, rolling out the ankle. And as you exhale, bringing that knee over to the left side of the mat, taking a twist. Right arm reaching long out to your side, looking over that shoulder. Your next inhale, slowly coming back to center, hugging that knee in once again. And then releasing the leg out long. On an exhale, bending left knee, bring it towards that left shoulder, hugging it in here. Once again, if you'd like, taking any movements that you'd like, maybe rolling out that ankle. And exhale, bringing that knee over to the right side of the mat. Left arm reaches out long, looking over the shoulder. Holding the twist here, letting gravity do the work. On an inhale, rotating back through center, hugging that left knee into the body once again. And then as you're ready, bringing both knees into the chest, rocking side to side. Bringing hands to the knees and making small circles clockwise and then counterclockwise, releasing the low back. Reaching the legs and the arms up towards the sky, maybe rolling the ankles and the wrists in either direction, making exaggerated movements here. And then begin to shake everything, shaking the legs, the arms, letting the hands and the feet just flail here. And then pausing in stillness, legs up, checking in with how you're feeling. As you're ready, releasing the legs back down. And then making your way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. So legs extended, arms by your sides, palms face up. Resting the shoulders down the back, closing the eyes. Settling into this space, taking a deep inhale. And fully letting that go. Taking another deep inhale. Fully letting that go. And then taking the rest of this time in stillness. Staying here as long as you like. If you're ready to move on, then maybe bringing some gentle movement into the fingers and the toes. And an inhale, reaching the right arm overhead, bending the knees, making your way onto your side, taking a few moments here. And slowly making your way back up into a comfortable seated position. As you settle in here, maybe taking a few shoulder rolls, lifting the shoulders up and back. On an inhale, reaching arms overhead. And as you exhale, palms together in front of the chest. Namaste. Sealing in your practice.